Warning, the contents of this review contain scenes of fan service with some horror which may disturb some viewers. If this sort of material isn't your thing, then feel free to turn back now. Viewer discretion is advised. If we've learnt anything from movies and urban legends, exploring an abandoned place, especially places tied to death and suicides, is usually a bad thing. Sometimes you get people who explore and chronicle their visits to abandoned places for fun, and it really gives us an insight into these once bustling places now lost to time. Today we'll be sort of doing just that in a fictional place with Livestream Escape from Hotel Izanami, a side-scrolling horror adventure game with point-and-click puzzles and visual novel elements, originally released on the Nintendo Switch but also ported to PC. Livestream Escape from Hotel Izanami puts you in the shoes of three friends, and I'll follow Japanese rules of full names and go family names first. Ikoma Mio, a lonely withdrawn girl who's more courageous than she looks, Shiraizu Azusa, a cool mature girl who's supposedly not scared of what's going on, and Sakurai Nana, the bubbly girl who'd brought them together as well as getting them to help her with her work on Nana channel since she's a live streamer. Nana suggests to the other two to explore Hotel Izanami, a cursed hotel that after the closure of a nearby amusement park had fallen into ruin and disrepair after the owner forced his daughter into a double suicide. While the hotel was supposed to have been demolished, misfortunes fell upon the demolition contractors assigned to take the hotel down, so it stayed up. As a result, the hotel is supposedly haunted by the ghost of the owner. Nana hopes to document their time in the hotel so it can go viral and she can gain more subscribers and hopefully increase her sub count from just over 10,000 to her goal of 1 million. At least she's doing better than this channel. Once the girls enter the hotel, they're quickly split up when Mio decides to investigate a mascot costume from the amusement park in the lobby, and while trying to catch up to the other two girls, things start to go very wrong very quickly. Which is to be expected when the hotel you're in shares its name with the Japanese goddess of creation and, more importantly, death. Can you solve the puzzles to guide the girls out of their compromising situations and out of the hotel? Or will they die trying? More importantly, is this game any good? Find out in The Good. The presentation of this game I thought was quite impressive. The game makes excellent use of live 2D animations for the characters in the visual novel sections, and I really liked how this game presented the video call between Mio and Azusa early in the game, as well as a section later where you have to try and save Nana. A lot of the puzzle sections do make good use of this, fanservice aside. The animations from moving around the hotel reminds me a lot of Detention, which isn't a bad thing, and the visuals of the corridors and rooms throughout the hotel really builds and helps max the atmosphere as well. The gameplay was something I really enjoyed as well. As you explore through the hotel, you'll be chased by the mascot who will kill you if you get caught. Sorta reminds me a little of Clock Tower, except you can't fight back. Throughout some parts of the game, the mascot will chase you until you either find a toilet to hide in or a pillar to hide behind, in which the mascot will then leave, allowing you to continue exploring. You can sometimes trigger the appearance of the mascot if you investigate the TV in some rooms, and it will spawn if you stay in certain areas too long. Another telltale sign is that the light on the girl's phone will flicker to let you know that the mascot is nearby, and her expression changes, which is a nice touch too. The game's lighting is also heavily used for you to find and pick up things, as a question mark will pop up over your character's head when near an item of interest, and will turn blue if you're close enough and have the light pointing in the right direction. Items are used to solve the various puzzles the girls come across in the game, and some items are combined for this purpose. While the puzzles are pretty straightforward, you can get a game over by taking too long with certain puzzles, so do try and complete them in a timely manner. You can also pick up memos and articles and journal entries about the hotel, the amusement park and the events around it, so you can get some background knowledge on the event that leads up to the hotel's closure, which made for some nice light reading. However, the game isn't without its faults, so let's have a look at some of those in The Bad. I feel that there could have been more to the game's story given the background and setting. I'm sure Nana and her friends aren't the first lot of people to go exploring the hotel, so maybe notes left behind by previous victims and corpses of people who go missing around the hotel could have added more to the setting and atmosphere. Without going into great details regarding spoilers, something like this is teased, and I do think that if the setting had just that little extra work on it, it might have made the game a little longer and it would have given some purpose to some of the locked rooms in the game. While the game does have a map, it does not tell you your current location, nor does it show which rooms are locked or not, which makes me wonder if there was any plans to be able to unlock the other rooms in the hotel. The game does bring up a few questions I feel are left unanswered, which is a real shame too. Sadly, the mascot is the only major threat chasing you in the game, and despite its appearances being random, I found a large part of the game I was pretty safe as it didn't appear to chase me. Some of the requirements in the game I found to be a little obscure, and this ties in with the game's multiple endings. One of the endings can be easily obtained if you forget to collect a certain item at some point in the game. Thankfully, the game hints at you about this and hopes that you pick up on it. Another ending is obtained if you did pick up a certain item to bypass a puzzle. Two endings require you to meet a certain requirement and trigger a scene where the ending is determined by what item you use at a certain place, and as part of it, I had to do a lot of backtracking as the girls needed to pick up some items to make something, and those items don't appear for interaction until you get to that point in the game. Matter of fact, the game won't even tell you what you're supposed to be looking for, so good luck trying to figure out what it is. Some items needed for parts of the game fall into the category of only becoming available when the time comes, which makes you wonder if what you're looking for is part of the background or not, and waste your time trying to figure out where it would be. At least acknowledging them so that way you can remember to come back to them later would have been a big help. Other than that, I can't say I had anything else to share here, so it's time for the opinion. Livestream Escape from Hotel Izanami is a pretty decent game and one I was not expecting at all, especially given that the developers for this game have a track record of mostly romance visual novels, so I can see how they've mastered Live 2D for their presentation and it really shows and fits with the game, so as I mentioned earlier, consider me impressed. The gameplay did add to the tension of the game and I liked solving the puzzles, again fanservice aside. I feel the game could have had greater potential with a more fleshed out, pun unintended, story to assist with the background and setting. Hell, you could have had something to rival Corpse Party, which would have absolutely astonished me. I also felt that some of the requirements for the endings were a little obscure and I did not have fun revisiting places I thought I had already completely searched just to find new items because they're now relevant to the task at hand, especially if the game doesn't give me any indicators of what I should be looking for. But that's part of the challenge, right? Nonetheless, I did enjoy my time with the game and I really hope that the developers make more games like this going forward. The bad aside, if you like games like Detention or Corpse Party, then this is certainly one for consideration. Even if it's a horror game you want to dabble in, then this game's worth a shot. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give Livestream Escape from Hotel Izanami a cassette tape out of 10. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.